Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy ColtsTalk. We are back with another video. Today is the recap between the Thursday night football game, the New York Jets taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I personally did go to this game, and I enjoyed every single second of it. I really did. Even though the Jets almost came back and took that game, but I knew it was too late. But we'll get into that later. But man, the overall experience to that game was just beautiful, man. I loved every single second of it. If you haven't been to Lucas Oil Stadium yet, I'd be sure to let you know you have to go, man. It's an experience nothing like itself, especially on a primetime game. It was electric. You're seeing so many people. The crowd was like a playoff environment in my opinion. Even though it did go dull sometimes because that defense just disappeared. But overall, in general, like when Jonathan Taylor had that big run, or even when Mo Alley caught that big pass was gone, it was just an overall phenomenal experience, man. I enjoyed every single second of it. I even enjoyed the moment when the Jets fans walked out of the building. They was talking so much garbage at the beginning of the game, but then when it started to get ugly, they got quiet after a second. And then when, the fumble happened and everything, I came back from, taking a little break from taking pictures and stuff, and they just disappeared. They just flat out left. It was a crazy experience. I heard rumors that Mike White was talking trash before this game. Not really talking trash, but having an over extreme amount of confidence. Even the Jets fans in my comment section on my video previously, they didn't think that we had enough targets or enough weapons to go out there and beat the New York Jets. I don't know what they seen. I don't know what Jets fans thought that. I mean, maybe they thought they was a playoff team, or maybe they thought they had like 7 wins or something at this point. But they're not as good as they think they are, man. They're an average team just like us, but we're better overall. Our defensive ranking doesn't speak for itself because we do lead the league turnovers. So they definitely seen that. They had their first appearance. Bobby Okereke, he had his pick. Definitely was looking forward to that. And none of this stuff really, I feel like this probably wouldn't have happened if I didn't go to that game. Even though a lot of people predicted us to lose, especially the people on Fox and, the primetime events, the analysts and all these things. They had the Jets winning this game, but I didn't expect us to put up 45 points. I really didn't. Rumor has it this is the most points the offense has put up in the Frank Reich era, if I'm not mistaken. But it was a pretty good outing. We had a very good first half. I enjoyed every single moment of the first half. We just were lights out phenomenal. Naheem Hines did a backflip while I was there. It was freaking impressive. And seeing that in person is just, he's fast. Like, seeing him in person was just another thing. Like, the TV it doesn't do it justice. Like, you have to go to the game and really see how talented this team could really be. The potential is there. And going to this game, it just showed you that the offense isn't the problem. It really isn't. Like, the designs, the schemes, everything that was drawn up, the offense just looked flat out beautiful. This was another week of flat out great game plan and actually executing, just flat out. You seen the sideline passes that Ashton Doolin caught, Zach Pascal. He caught a few good passes. Naheem Hines he had a receiver. He was looking good out there as well. It was just the deep bombs. Carson Wentz had a really good game. Carson Wentz had a good game. Like, watching him in person, even after that slump that he had against the Titans, it just showed you it just goes back to my argument that Carson is a 50-50 player. He's going to have a good game. He's going to have a bad game. He's not the best quarterback. He's not perfect. So I was expecting that going into when we did get him. And I'm so happy that on primetime he showed up and showed out. And especially when I was there in the crowd, in the arena, I was watching it. It was beautiful. Even him running for those plays. He had a few targets open, but he just made something out of nothing. It was just flat out great, man. I just enjoyed every single second of that game. Even when the Jets came back in the second half, I still enjoyed it, even though that happened. But Jonathan Taylor is a man amongst boys. He has to be labeled as probably the best running back right now in the NFL. Now that Derrick Henry's hurt, it's okay to give him the crown for now because his numbers speak for itself and his talent as well. He's just that freaking good. Now, of course, he did scare us when he went down with that injury, but it was just a little twink. He had to stretch it out, and he came back in the game at the end. But his running game is just phenomenal, and I feel like he's just getting better and better as the weeks go by, man. Same thing for Carson Wentz, but Michael Pittman Jr. touchdown, even though they tried to count it as incomplete, I thought it was incomplete first, but when he went back to the replay, he had 3 feet, he had 3 steps in the end zone. It was just a great catch. Like, the chemistry between those two is what we dreamed of, and it's getting better and better as the weeks go by. Now, Darius Leonard showed up. He had his play, even though he got mossed by Crawford on the sideline at the end of the game. But Darius Leonard was wreaking havoc as well. DeForest Buckner, he did pretty good that game. Kwity Paye and Hurricane Dio showed up. That's what we was expecting all week. Al-Qadim Muhammad had him a good game. Taylor Stallsworth was looking good. Like, overall, in general, you can take a lot of good away from this game, and there's a little bit of bad. But Isaiah Rodgers, I thought he had a pick six. I was dreaming of that to happen. Like, I wanted an Isaiah Rodgers pick six, but they called him stepping out of bounds or a flag or something like that. I can't remember, but I thought he ran it back. George Odom almost had a pick that game. But overall in general, like, this team is just, it's flip flop. Like I said, the offense is not the reason why when you went to that game and you see how many points the offense put up, and then when you see the defense come on the field and they just give up so many yards playing prevent, it just shows you that we need to adjust. The defense has to adjust. Of course, Darius Leonard had his punch-out fumble and a lot of these things. We made a lot of good stops that game against the Jets. We had a lot of good stops, but like, the holes that was just so open on the pass game. Our run defense is phenomenal. You can't take that away. Our run defense is pretty good, so I never worry about stopping the run. But the coverage is just, it has to get fixed. The coverage has to get fixed. We can't keep going through this week in and week out if we want to even at least make the wild card, because we're in the hunt to make the wild card. Of course, we need a lot of probabilities to happen, but we're still in the chase right now. There's a lot of teams with almost the same record as us. I think we're tied with 3 other teams, but there's one team in front of us. But other than that, we still have a chance to make the wild card. So we can't take that out the norm right now, because we're going to see tomorrow on Sunday what teams win and what teams lose. But overall, in general, I enjoyed the game. The defense coverage has to be fixed, but the run defense is already good, so I'm not mad at that. Of course, the boneheaded penalties, we can take that away. There was a lot of penalties that cost us, like the offsides and all that good stuff like that, but you cannot have a guy like Josh Johnson. This is no knock on him, but you can't have him going out there throwing like 300 yards. It's just unacceptable. A practice squad QB was 27 for 41 with 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Like, you can't have, that's unacceptable. You can't have something like that happen. You just can't. So, so like, if they can fix that coverage going into, further on down the stretch, because we go against a lot of tough teams, but I think we can win one out of the tough stretch. It's going to be impossible to make the playoffs with this reoccurrence keep happening week to week. Like I said, we're good. We're as good as we're supposed to be on paper, but when it goes out to actually playing on the field and you see in person what the problem is, you have to fix that. It's no way. And Coach Frank said it himself, we got to be better in coverage. It's just as simple as that. So hopefully they can get that fixed. Seeing Sam Ehlinger out there running the Jacoby Brissett role was amazing. Carson Wentz, when he sneaked it on fourth, all the people in the arena seen it coming. It was just an overall great experience. I'm glad we enjoyed it. I'm glad we won on prime time. I love the jerseys. I love the momentum, the hype. The crowd was behind us. It was just overall a great experience. I'm glad we got the W. On to next week. So we're going to enjoy this week. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section about the game, how you feel, what do you think we need to improve, and who do you think was very impressive on Thursday night. All these things in the comment section. What do you think we could have done better? Let me know in the comment section. Until next time, this is Marcus, and you've been Culture Shock.